Hello and welcome to the Observe Conversations channel. I am VR Sampath, retired IPS, aka Sampath Ramanujan MFA. For more details, click the link below. Please subscribe and click the bell icon. Thank you. Let's get into the topic for the day. This is the Brahmin Narrative Part 2, S.V. Sekar's Brahmin Part. The Brahmin narrative is something which is conspicuous by its absence. They don't have one. That's the tragedy of their lives. A Brahmin is known more by the anti-Brahmin narratives given by others rather than his own. I'm talking about Brahmins of India in general, Brahmins of South India in particular, and specifically Brahmins of Tamil Nadu, Tamilnadu. There is no Brahmin activism. There are no Brahmin activists. Take for instance the Kashmiri Pandits. Until they were driven out of Kashmir in early 90s, they didn't have their narrative. The violence against them gave them their narrative. I saw a few Kashmiri Brahmin individuals running from pillar to post, presenting their case in every forum for decades and finally winning back the right to live in Kashmir. And a movie on their lives too, to boot, The Kashmir Files. I have worked as a police officer in the deep northern states of UP, Delhi and bordering Punjab. I found the Brahmins there combative, fighting for their rights and getting them. They have their lobbies and interest groups. Perhaps facing foreign invasions for hundreds of years helped them develop combative skills. The Brahmins of the South did not face such situations and remained soft. They have nothing of the above mentioned strong qualities. The narrative against Brahmins is old, that they are Aryans who came through Hindu Kush and started controlling Indians. That put Brahmins in the defensive. They say, we did not have an army at our disposal like the Mughals or British. So how could we invade India? We belong here. We were good in Vedas, therefore became good teachers and advisors to the kings. That's all. But the narrative against Brahmins stuck. Is it because they look different and their skin color is lighter? One doesn't know. But the negative narrative stuck because they don't have their own until today. Recently I came across a speech Brahmin journalist. He was bemoaning that there were 3 Brahmin Nobel laureates and none of the universities and learning institutions bore their names, whereas lesser non-Brahmins had their names all over. All this because of societal bias against Brahmins, he said. True. What is the self-image of Brahmins? Victims. That they are intelligent, knowledgeable, full of wisdom, all-knowing, and need to be regarded and respected. But the society doesn't care. It doesn't give him his due. This is self-pride and a victim mentality, a negative narrative about themselves. Let's take some illustrious and contemporary Brahmins. Sundar Pichai, who went on to become the CEO of Google, and a few more like him. The community can be proud of them. That's about all. Would Sundar fund an effort to set a Brahmin narrative? Most unlikely. Or auditor Gurumurthy. Until recently, he was considered to be close to the Modi government. His daughter's wedding was attended by who's who of the government and the society. He gives lectures on Hinduism and Sanatana Dharma in Shastra University. Gurumurthy succeeded Cho Ramaswamy, another luminary Brahmin, to run the magazine Tuklak. Gurumurthy gave a weird reason for not becoming a minister in Modi cabinet. That Sankaracharya of Kanchi Mutt forbade him from politics. Wow. So he wanted to be a powerful advisor, a typical Brahmin occupation. Or take Dr. Subramanian Swamy, who was a Rajya Sabha MP of the BJP until recently. He created Virat Hindu Sangam and addressed them on the same subjects of Hinduism and Sanatana Dharma. His aim was believed to become a minister in Modi cabinet, but that did not happen. And his Rajya Sabha stint also ended without extension or renewal. And then people like Velukudi Krishnan and Dushyant Sridhar, etc. Will he be the spokesperson for Brahmin welfare? Or did you expect a Kamal Hassan or a Rajinikanth or a K. Balachandar to set the narrative for Brahmins? In fact, some of them got success with playing anti-Brahmin narratives. All these individuals achieved or tried to achieve self-glory but never set a Brahmin narrative. They are not known to have helped their own community. It looks like these people were trying to project Hinduism and Sanatana Dharma as their narrative. But they forgot Sanatana was for all, not only for Brahmins. Where is a Brahmin narrative? These are the days of YouTube and Facebook channels. Thousands of people are vying to find a place on these platforms. You find hundreds of them having narratives and agendas to present. Do Brahmins have their own agendas and narratives to present on these platforms? No. We see anti-Brahmin narratives and agendas being constantly bombarded through these channels. All the blames which rightfully belong to the caste Hindus are being dumped on Brahmins' heads, even today, every day. If you say meritocracy is your policy, they came up with reservations. It set the cutoff so high, your youth remains burdened with the task of scoring very high marks and still not sure of getting what they wanted. If you are a government official and insisted on truth, impartiality, discipline, etc., they transferred you to a waterless forest. Tanni illa kala, as they say. They didn't give you important positions in the first place. You don't have to even talk about caste politics. They bring Manu Nidhi into discussion. You may not even know who Manu was and what he wrote about caste and class. They print copies of the document, purportedly written thousands of years ago, and distribute it today. They hide the fact that Manu was a Dravidian non-Brahmin and not a Brahmin, but stuck the infamous stigma on us. What is your answer? If you claimed only you knew Sanskrit and therefore you were entitled to be priests in temples, they have come up with Tamil Archakas. Is it just to drive you out of temples? On the other hand, I find many non-Brahmin youngsters seeking out explanations for ancient texts which were hitherto considered a Brahmin's forte. Where are Brahmin youth? What are they doing? Many of them are trying to lose their identity, to look and behave exactly like non-Brahmins. A few others wear their Brahmin identities on their foreheads and bodies, but otherwise nothing significant. The fact remains that Brahmins have had no identity. In ancient days, they were scholars, teachers, and advisors to the kings. They performed yagas for the welfare of humanity. They earned their livelihoods through these activities and depended on the benevolence of the kings. Today, merit ceased to be the sole criterion for success. Brahmins should stop overemphasizing merit. What is the way out? Brahmins have to create a new identity for themselves, set a distinct narrative. I am doubtful whether reviving the old identity will work anymore. It's precisely the old identity which is responsible for all the negative outcomes. Today's world is different. Aristocracy and meritocracy are obsolete. Democracy is the order of the day. Equal opportunity is the name of the game. The old Brahmin identity fitted aristocracy well, but democracy is a different ballgame altogether. Brahmins make less than 5% of the population of India. This was ideal for being elites in aristocracy and meritocracy, but not in democracy. They have to reinvent themselves in order to survive in the new world order as a class. No point saying you don't have it in your DNA to attack or be offensive. You have to change it by willpower. You have to fight for your identity, your place in the society. Brahmins are known for not indulging in crimes, not even coming to the street to fight for their rights. Is that good in a democracy? What do they do with the aggression a normal human being has? Well, they use the aggression among themselves. They use sarcasm as one of the tools to vent their aggression. They live like islands. There is no cohesion in the families. I see Brahmin families in North America, just as in India, have elitist attitudes, having zero outreach towards their own members. No agreement, no skills of relating or supporting. I still remember what happened with me as a young boy. If I got into a physical fight with a non-Brahmin boy and I happened to win, that boy will go and get 10 more boys to fight me. I will be all alone. I had no chance. This is the same tactics they use even today. What are the chances for Brahmins today? Next to nil. Not until they unite and accept force as part of life and fight for their rights. Not until they give up notions like Kali Yuga, a ridiculous calculation of 45,000 years, after which things will be okay. Or for that matter, the belief that God will incarnate whenever common man suffers. Here are a few suggestions. Demand reserved seats for assemblies and parliament. Revive revival of upper houses where you can get nominated, demand at least one cabinet minister's position. At last, S.V. Sekar has done the right thing in starting a Brahmin's party. He tried the self-glory way but failed. He is doing this as a last resort. He may still be seeking self-glory. Anyways, a welcome move. His strategy of splitting votes and getting things done for Brahmins is very valid. Instead of standing on the sidelines, he has paved a way for Brahmins to go mainstream. Soon he should also have a channel for Brahmin politics. He should avoid the pitfall of self-glory and have a young man lead the party, not his son of course, if he wants to give a tough fight to Annamalai. Until then, he has two things to do. One, set a proper Brahmin narrative. Secondly, he should stop joking and prove to be a serious man. That he means business. Going back to our topic, prepare the younger generation of Brahmins to fight for their rights. Teach them self-defense techniques. Send them to gym regularly. Let them develop real-world skills and not just degrees in IITs. Reduce overemphasis on merit. Never be afraid of controversies. Give up the narrative that you cannot stoop low. You can do that. Have solidarity among yourselves. Avoid infighting. Don't follow the bad example of Vishwamitra, who had to go get Rama, a Kshatriya, to fight the evil. Fight evil yourselves. And what was Vishwamitra doing for which he needed protection? He was doing yaga for human welfare. Forget welfare of humanity. Mind your own welfare. The world is doing well. Only the Brahmins as a community are in a pitiable and pathetic condition. Enough of service to God and the community. Stand up and stand tall. Have a life, Brahmin.